Hey up and welcome back. So today a few upgrades to the Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 and a couple of questions for any of you out there who might know a little bit about the wiring arrangement inside the headlight of this bike, but we'll come to that as you can see. So first, courtesy of those wonderful people down at Hitchcocks Motorcycles, let's see what's in the box, apart from a load of shredded paper, that is. Right, well, here we have the DNA upgraded air filter, which I'm going to fit. It's going to make the bike breathe a lot more easily and perhaps even give it a little bit more shove. Who knows? Let's see. Also, this mesh headlight guard that I'm hoping it'll give the bike a little bit more of a rugged, almost urban feel. And you'll see as I go about fitting this headlight guard that I've also fitted a shorter screen, a fly screen, which is just a universal fit cheap job from eBay, but it looks the part, I think. Tell me what you think when we get to see it. And last thing that we're going to be fitting today that's in the box is the Union Jack knee protectors or tank protectors, and these are supplied for the Interceptor Continental GT and I think the 350 range as well. So first off then, we're going to fit the DNA air filter, and on the left hand side of the Super Meteor there, just insert the key. If the bike's new, you might struggle at first with this, and also pulling that hinge panel away. I had to use a bit of lubricant to free it up, but a bit of a tip for you here, where that plastic spline there fits into the grommet in the bike, you might want to put a bit of red rubber grease, which will just make your life an awful lot easier. So, and with the help of my glamorous assistant Eddie, all that you need to do to remove the original filter is unscrew the 3 Phillips number 2 screws that hold on the plastic air intake and retention flange for the old filter. So if you undo those 3 screws, you should be able to pull the whole assembly of the old filter away from the bike. Like so. And you can see me there pointing out just how much air you can get in via the original air intake. It's just 2 small apertures as compared with the full width afforded by the new unit, as we shall see. And so I ordered the kit, which comprises of the air filter itself and the metal retaining flange there. You can buy them separately if you want to use the old plastic 2-port retaining flange, but I don't recommend it. The main advantage of this filter, in addition to the fact that it can be maintained and cleaned and endlessly reused, is the fact that if you actually secure it in place with that metal flange that you can see there, you get a lot more airflow through that much larger diameter aperture. So just push the air filter in with the open part facing outwards, and then offer up the metal flange, which should mate up exactly with the 3 screw holes there. And then it's simply a matter of replacing the original 3 Phillips 2 screws. You'll note there's a tiny little lug at about the 10 or 11 o'clock position that mates up with a little notch in that metal flange so that you can get the orientation exactly right. and you'll see that the bottom two retaining lugs, they will actually bend into place as you tighten up the bottom two screws there. The top screw is actually flush. Okay, just make sure those screws are nipped up nice and snug, and return the panel and secure with the key, and that's the DNA air filter fitted. Now, what I was going to do here was wire up the two LED spotlights that I fitted that you can see there, and with that in mind, I got from Hitchcocks a splitter connector for the switched live inside the headlight housing there. Now, in the Interceptor, when you take the headlight out, in the housing, in the headlight housing in the Interceptor, there is a spare connector, which is a switched live, and the aim of the splitter is to convert that single switched live connector to a twin switched live connector, so that you can fit a couple of accessories by that method. But I found when I actually got inside the headlight housing there, as we'll see shortly, that there was no vacant connector, no available connector to which to connect the splitter cable. So I'm a little bit confused. What I'm doing here is I'm disconnecting the headlight. That's straightforward. Just pull that connector out, and then there's like a dished plastic insert that keeps all the rest of the wiring secure, and you need to remove that with a T20 Torx. And that's just to undo the single Torx screw in the middle of that dished plastic insert there that holds it in place. And it's behind there that all the additional wiring, that's all the wiring over and above the direct connection to the headlight, is to be found. But when I got behind that there insert, search as I might, I couldn't actually find a free connector. Yeah, a free connector to attach the splitter cable to. So as I said, on the Interceptor, it's very obvious it's there. It's an open, free, available connector that you can either connect directly to whatever accessory it is you want wiring up to a switched live, or to fit the splitter unit. But no, try as I might, couldn't find it on the Super Meteor. So if any of you out there are aware of whether such a thing exists in that headlight unit, and if it does, where it is, or whether it's a matter of unplugging something else and sort of splicing in the splitter, let me know. But it flummoxed me, did that one, but we'll come back to it another day. So now we're gonna fit the headlight guard, and this is very, very straightforward. First of all, the retaining bolts for the headlight cowl there need to be removed using a 5mm Allen key. You can see there just the mounting bracket for that little short screen I've put on. The new headlight guard will just go over that without any problem. And this is achieved by this here little contraption that comes with the kit from Hitchcocks, and that's basically a threaded 13mm bolt which accepts the 5mm domed Allen bolt that will eventually secure the headlight guard itself. So you're basically creating a new extended thread. So pop that bolt in there. It's a 30mm, not a 10 as I first thought, nowhere near, or indeed for that matter that 12, which didn't fit either. So my trial and error makes for your easier and more speedy efforts when it comes to doing this, if you're going to do this. So there we are, 13mm spanner needed for that, and then just nip that up and don't tighten it up too much. Remember, the thread that you're turning that into is just a threaded insert in the plastic headlamp unit there, so don't be too brutal with it. So yeah, just nip that up with your 13mm spanner, and you'll see there the internal thread there that will accept the 5mm Allen bolt when we come to fit the headlight guard. And likewise on the right hand side, 5mm Allen key, remove the original retaining bolt for the headlamp housing, and again replace that with the supplied threaded 13mm bolt from Hitchcocks with the kit. Right, time to fit the guard itself. There's no right way up or upside down or anything. It appears fairly symmetrical about its horizontal axis to me, and its vertical axis for that matter. Just a matter of parting the two mounting brackets slightly so that they will slip over the new bolts, and then tightening up the supplied 5mm domed M8 short bolts with washers. They come with the kit, and just a matter of nipping those up either side there, and lo and behold, you have your headlight guard fitted. Okay, next job, fitting the Union Jack tank protectors, and you'll probably find that you need to trim off some excess adhesive backing there with a pair of scissors. Just be very, very careful and take your time. You don't want to nick the rubber itself, and I found that for the trickier bits at the ends there, a smaller pair of scissors did the job nicely. Now, of course, it's up to you where you actually position the tank protectors, but I decided that I wanted the top of the rubber protector to follow the same line as the top of the Royal Enfield badge there, or at least to follow the same trajectory, be at the same angle. So what I did was use some low tack masking tape, which allowed me there to extend that line along the full length of the tank, and then a second piece of masking tape which drops down from the vertical, if you like, so that you have 2 points of contact with which you can accurately position the knee pads on both sides of the tank. So just lining it up there to make sure it's pleasing to the eye and it doesn't look out of place. And once you're happy with that position, you can mark it up with another piece of tape. Next job, very important this, give the area in question a good old wipe down there with acetone, panel white, pre-paint, whatever your preferred solvent is. Don't use thinners, hey, that might ruin your day. So just a bit of blue roll there with a bit of, I use U-Pol panel wipe. Then simply a matter of removing the adhesive backing. For goodness sake, don't drop it, because if you do, sod's law will kick in and it will fall down, sticky side down. So very, very carefully offer that up so that the top and left hand side contours there on that pad line up with your tape. And if you do that, you'll find that the whole thing positions quite nicely, and that's my preferred position, but it might not be yours. But using this tape method, it allows you to duplicate the positioning on the other side of the tank as accurately as possible. And just give it a good old press home, and when you're happy that it's secure and in place, you can remove the tape and admire your work. Right, to the side, right hand side, as before, taking the angle of the top line of the badge there and extending it carefully down the full length of the tank. And then what you'll see me do is the second piece of tape I'll position on the badge, the vertical piece, in exactly the same point, the same reference point on that badge as I did on the left hand side. So make a note of the position of your second piece of tape when you do one side, so that you can duplicate that on the other side. Again, uber important, a good old wipe with panel wipe, pre-paint. Some people call it pre-paint, don't they? Acetone. And just make sure you get that spotlessly clean. So again, carefully remove that backing paper. Make sure that you don't drop the protector there. And again, offer it up and position it with the two contact points being the top of the pad there and the right hand side of the pad. You might just be able to manoeuvre it a millimetre or two once you've touched base with it, but no more than that. And you'll find if you adopt this method and take your time that you'll get exactly the same positioning on both sides of the tank. And again, once you're satisfied that thing has seated home properly and is firmly in place, you can remove the tape and admire your work. Final job today, you must fire up the bike and let it idle without touching the throttle for about 15 minutes to allow the ECU to make friends with that new air filter. Very important that you do that. So there we are, all done for today. The kit comes from Hitchcocks Motorcycles, www.hitchcocksmotorcycles.com. Links to all the relevant parts in the description below. So what do you think? I think it definitely looks meaner, leaner, and hopefully keener with that new DNA air filter. Okay, thanks for watching. Until the next time, ride safe, be kind, and I'll see thee.